Nick Saban began his career as a graduate assistant at Kent State, then serving as an assistant coach at multiple programs before being hired by Toledo in 1989, turning a 6-5 team into a 9-2 co-champion of the Mid-American Conference. He had a taste of success and didn't look back. Ron, tell us about the GOAT.
Got there in 2007, right after Mike Shula was fired. And, I mean, he's hit the ground running. 2007 was the only season where he didn't have over 10 wins or more. So for 15 years straight, he's had over 10 wins or more, right? And some more of his accomplishments. He holds the record, the NCAA record for the most first-round picks in a career with 46. He's won 194 games since he's been in Tuscaloosa during this time. He's had Alabama never had a Heisman Trophy winner until he got there. Now they have 4, right, with Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, Devontae Smith, and Bryce Young. And just the impact that he has had for the university is humongous, right? So he's the best coach to ever do it. And to top it off, he's won 6 titles since he's been at Alabama, right? So and 7 overall, which just ultimately makes him the GOAT.
Yeah, I was so when he walked into Alabama, he walked into a chaotic football team, right? Because Mike Shula had just got fired. I think y'all were coming off some sanctions also a couple years earlier. But Nick Saban has been, if there's a standard to measure coaches by in college football, Nick Saban is the standard. He's the highest you can go, right? Yeah, man. There's no denying it that he has become probably the greatest college football coach of all time, winning at LSU, Bama. He's won at Toledo. And the stat line is just crazy. 7 national titles total, right? But 9, 11, 12, 15, 17, and 20. So it's not like, it's a long span of time, but he doesn't go more than a few years without having a championship-ready team. So it's just wild. And also doing it in the SEC, which is the last decade plus, has been the best conference in college football. So he's done it against the best competition out there.
I agree, man. This guy, you gotta understand, right? Bama plays in the SEC. This guy's a 5-time SEC Coach of the Year. So that means you're the best of the best. We won't see it again. I know you said he's the measuring stick. Nobody will ever come close to accomplishing what Nick Saban has in his time at Bama. I don't see it happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one thing that Ed touched on is recruiting, right? I mean, he's always in the top 3 in recruiting. Everybody wants to come and play for him. And I think about the story when they said Julio Jones, because he was really the first domino to fall to get everybody to start coming to Bama. And he was choosing between Bama and Oklahoma. And Saban told him basically, either you can come to Bama or go to Oklahoma, but either way, we're gonna win. We're gonna win either with you or without you, right? And I just think again, that's a testament to Saban, and also because you recruit so hard, they established a Nick Saban rule. So they came out with the so-called Nick Saban rule, which barred head coaches from speaking with recruits on the road, but did allow for meetings with coaches and teachers who could share pertinent info on prospects. And I said coaches came up with that rule because they was just frustrated. Like, he was recruiting all the time. He was doing whatever he could to get, his program up and running. So, no, that recruiting is his lifeblood, and he's the master at it.
And another thing that I want to, his coaching tree is ridiculous. When you think about, so coaches that have been under him that have gone on to have success of their own, and the amount of coaches. I mean, Kirby Smart's one of them, Steve Sarkisian, Butch Jones, Mel Tucker, Bill Napier, Lane Kiffin, Mario Cristobal, Josh McDaniels. So his his style of coaching too is, do the small things right, winning in the trenches, right, recruiting, having solid offensive or defensive lines. And you see everybody that I just named off that list has taken that same recipe for success and taking it with them and have been successful. I mean, we're talking about Texas potentially being in a national title contender in year 3 under Steve Sarkisian. Lane Kiffin down in Ole Miss, crazy recruiter, offensive minded, and now Kirby Smart on the cusp of winning the elusive 3rd national title, right? So it's amazing, man. That's all under his tutelage.
Yeah, and all of those coaches, man, they're all at major programs, man. To take, he kind of revives coaches' careers, right? Everybody that's been had some type of issue or been fired before or whatever it is, Saban takes them on. They're with Saban for, 1 to 2 years as an assistant or, whatever it is. And they get their careers back, man. It's crazy.
Look at Bill O'Brien, right? He was an established head coach. We coached at Penn State, coached at New England, right? Houston Texans. Then came to Alabama as an offensive coordinator. Now he's back in the NFL with the New England Patriots again. So, Joe Judge, right? It's just, man, the coaching tree goes long, man.
Yeah, Mike Loxley. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And another thing you got to understand, right? So when he's recruiting these players, something that he can guarantee is a national championship within those 4 years that you're going to be there. Because if you look back at all their championships, anybody that goes to Bama, you're going to win at least one.
Thinking back, right?
And you turn around, you're looking at other coaches, and it's, crickets in the background. They can't offer me that. I'm going to play for Bama. Yeah. Roll Tide.
But yeah, man, we got to think about, too, some most entertaining college football games I've played. You got to think about who else was good in these years, too. The dynasty at Florida, right, with Tim Tebow and Urban Meyer. And then you have, those are some crazy games. The Cam Newton going through. So that's just another thing, man. Like, he's been doing it against some of the greatest players that's come through college football.
Yeah. And, I know people starting to say, since Kirby's won his last 2, that college football may be starting to catch up with him, right? You think about how dominant his run has been. A lot of people don't think you'll ever see as dominant a run again as Saban has been doing, right? But I always think back to Bobby Bowden. And, I was reading an article recently where Saban was saying, if he kind of feels that he's getting in the way of Alabama program, then he will retire, right? But as of right now, he doesn't feel that way. And, like I said, he's just a spry 71-year-old man that, still out there coaching DBs, like he's doing everything. And I just don't see him slowing down no time soon.
Shit, I hope at 71 I have that energy.
I know, right? I know. And he's still recruiting at an elite level. I mean, they just had the #1 recruiting class, which some people are saying is his best class of all time.
We shall see. Because, that'd be nice to, after all the doubt that he's gone through, especially the last couple of years, and to win another big one will cement, like, he still has some more years to go. I mean, if he wins another one, you can't fire Nick Saban. You're going to have to let him retire when he's ready to.
All right, man. Well, that does it for this episode of the Unbiased Room. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.